season's running hat. And right now, we've got Coach Pewinski from, guess what, Lake Superior State University. How you doing, Coach?
Doing very well, thank you.
So how's your season going, man?
Well, we are, we ran into a few injuries, and, we're very young, so our record's probably not as good as we would like. I think we're, I don't even know, I think we're 6-10 in the conference right now with 2 games to go, and, I think we're 10-14 overall, 15 overall, something like that. But, I'm very happy with, the effort the girls have put in and the strides that we have made to get better. Our young kids have got a lot of experience, which will, be good for next year.
Well, as I look at your schedule, it's nice to see because some of the losses you have, I call it like a 15-point barrier. Anything under 15 points, unless the other team lets you in, is a loss. But it shows that with a young team, that's only 7 baskets away from turning it around and winning those. So I think you're on the cusp of something great for that squad, looking at the record right here.
Yeah, we definitely, we played Michigan Tech in Northwood, both of those schools, really tough, especially at home. And they're tied for first in our conference right now. So both games we really had a chance to win, just weren't really ready to do it yet, couldn't make enough big plays. And, so with all the young kids that we do have and the kids that we had out, we probably had, 2 starters, 1 for sure, maybe a second starter out all season long. So that's kind of hard to overcome, especially when you're doing it with freshmen. So, I do like where we're headed for next season.
Well, yeah, and you started the season off pretty hard, Michigan State, but that had to be great for your team to actually experience that level of competition.
Yeah, that was an amazing experience, especially playing them back to back. Actually we were tied with Michigan State at the half on the second day we played, and kind of ran out of energy, down the stretch there with having played the day before. But to play in the atmosphere both at Michigan and Michigan State was pretty incredible, and we got a chance to meet Tom Izzo and sit down with him. He came and spoke with the team at breakfast, and it was just a good experience all around.
And you also had a chance to play Grand Valley, which is the juggernaut in Division II across the board. I mean, every time I turn around, someone's talking about Grand Valley in the Division I AA's and even Division I programs. So you had a nice little you kept that game real tight. That was a tight game for you guys.
Well, actually, just last weekend down there, we won. We beat them.
Yep.
We scored at the buzzer, so that was we're playing shorthanded. We only dressed 8, and we probably played 7 significant minutes. So that was that was a huge win for our program. I mean, some of the seniors had said it was the best win they've had here, and we just really had to pull together as a unit. The 8 that we had dressed, and they just showed a ton of heart, to go out there and win, because Grand Valley is one of the better teams in the conference, and they're now in the GLIAC tournament. And you're right, all you ever hear is about is Grand Valley. So anytime you can take them down, especially on the road, is a big deal.
Well, absolutely, man. That game was tight. You were there, sticking it to them. It's definitely a mark in your cap as far as taking on a Grand Valley. Because when I make phone calls out to California to do interviews, they're always trying to mark what's Grand Valley doing. So when you actually beat them in conference, short staff, that does a lot for your program and the seniors and the upcoming freshmen, because now they've tasted victory at the juggernaut in the state. So it's got to be good for you.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it shows a lot about our team, considering Grand Valley was playing to clinch a spot in the GLIAC tournament, and we really didn't have a shot at getting in. And just the fact that we're not quitting and we're playing as hard as we can, and even shorthanded, we didn't back down. And that was really good to see. It was a good test of our character, and definitely show that in the long run, these are the right kids, and they're going to get some things done for us.
Yeah, being young as you are in the games. I mean, I'm just looking over this. I looked at it a few weeks ago when we're setting up things here in-house. And, I mean, you're telling me there's a lot more games with 10 points and less that you were right there for. And that's like a basket, a turnover at the wrong time, an inbounds pass that shouldn't have been thrown. I mean, how many of these games have you pulled your hair out? I can't see a picture of you now, and I'm bald. And I know when I coached, I used to pull my hair out, because you can only coach. The players got to play.
Correct. And for the most part, they've done a good job of, trying to execute the game plan. And, we've maybe come up, a stop or two short, or, our turnovers have been our big problem. And a lot of that is, due to our youth. But, I definitely have a full head of hair. It's just very gray right now. I've got a lot more gray hairs than I did at the beginning of the season. But, you're right. There's, one game, we played Wayne State. We were up most of the game by 11. We shot 50% from the floor and had 30 turnovers, and we ended up losing. Definitely a situation where we, instead of being up 11, we should have been up 20, and we let them come back and make a run and win in the end. So, that one haunts us. And like I said, the Northwood and Tech game here, we definitely had chances to where we were up maybe 5 or 6 to go up 10, 11, or 12, and we've turned the ball over and let them get back in it. So if we can clean up those little turnovers in those situations, I think we're really going to be in the hunt next year.
Absolutely. I mean, the way you play the beginning of season, your hard schedule, and then the close finish you had with Grand Valley State, then you came back and did payback big time on them. And to now, there's got to be a lot of development as far as some of the incoming freshmen or newbies. How are you feeling right now with some of those new people coming up right now? They're going to be, sophomores and juniors.
Yeah, well, we're going to have a sophomore class next year of 7, so it's going to be a pretty significant group. We had 2 kids that were redshirted, and then we have the 5 freshmen now. So, 2 of those freshmen have started most of the season. With the 2 that were redshirted this year, played a ton of minutes last year. One started at the point every game for us. So those guys are going to have a ton of experience, and they're just a little more confident in taking big shots. They're a little more, they're starting to play together better. They're really looking for each other, and the best thing is they love being around each other. I mean, they love playing together, which doesn't always happen, especially with such a large group of those 7 kids. But they're all pretty much guards. They don't, they're competing for time, but they're not trying to knock each other down. They want everyone to be successful, and that is, by far as a coach, the biggest thing you can hope for.
Absolutely. Now with the season near completion, how are your team right now looking at the next 2 games? Are you bringing it heavy, or what are you doing to set that up for yourselves as far as mental?
Well, we took yesterday off. We took Sunday and Monday off, kind of rest from the weekend, because the 8 kids that did play in those 2 games, were pretty tired. So we wanted a little bit of more rest there. Today we'll go pretty hard. Get some scrimmaging in, get up and down the floor, because those kids that didn't play are going to need to be conditioned a little bit. And, then we'll start kind of taper down for Wednesday and Thursday, maybe do a little more shooting. And tomorrow will be kind of hard. Thursday and Friday will be a little lighter with some shooting. And, just try to make it as fun as we can. We only got the two games left, but we still want to, go out and do some things for our seniors here. We don't want to send them out on the wrong note. And, we want to make sure that we are prepared and ready to play. So, we're going to kind of treat it like a normal week, but yet maybe just keep it a little bit lighter as far as trying to have more fun and not as mentally taxing.
And now with the season coming completion like you've had right now where it's so close, what do you kind of do to help the seniors out? Because right now their career in basketball is over, and you've been there before where you went into the coaching ranks, and you can speak as far as how do you work through that? Because that's got to be tough.
Yeah, it's a very tough situation. I mean, and this is actually the situation that I have not been in. All the teams that I played on and have coached so far have made the GLIAC tournament, and so we always knew there was another game, and you never knew going into the game that it for sure was going to be your last game. So, this is definitely a different situation for us.